Today, the moon is in the deep, watery territory of Scorpio, bringing us into a place that is more real, raw, honest, taking us into those depths of what we really feel to be true on the inside. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro vibe for Saturday, March 7th. And today we also have Venus, the planet that rules Libra, and we've had the moon in Libra for the last 3 days. Now the moon's in Scorpio, but that Venus energy of love and connection and pleasing and what is pleasing to us and what we value and what we want, what we desire. That planet moving from spiritual Pisces into action oriented Aries. And as it does so today, Venus joins up with Neptune and then Saturn as it moves through very early Aries. So Venus inviting us to take action based on our desires, based on what we value, based on what is pleasing to us. And we can think about that in deeper ways, especially with Venus joining up with Neptune, early Pacific time. Venus joins Neptune, and then later in the day it joins Saturn. But we're really, Venus activating both of these energies because Saturn and Neptune have just very recently had their exact conjunction. So they're both there, very close to one another in early Aries, bringing that dynamic between Neptune, which is the transcendence, the way that we go beyond boundaries, dissolve boundaries, connect with a bigger picture of our hearts, our spirits, soul, things that are hard to put into words, the intangible, together with Saturn, the tangible, the hard, the limits, the boundaries. So at the same time that boundaries are dissolving, we also have new forms taking shape that can be informed by a bigger spiritual picture, especially when we are connecting with our hearts. So Venus activating those two planets is bringing in this on the ground, day to day, here and now. What do we want? What do we care about? What are we willing to fight for? What matters to us in what we want in our daily lives? And so that is going to be connected because they are inseparable. It's going to be connected with those energies of the transcendent, of the bigger picture, of what our hearts want and our spirits want, and how we show up in our lives to help shape the things we want to bring into being. So Neptune dissolves, but Saturn also reforms. And in very early Aries, we're talking about the energy of rebirth and new beginnings. So Venus says, what's really important to you? What matters? What do you want? What do you desire? Like what speaks to your heart? What touches you on those deeper levels? So all of that is going on as the moon moves through Scorpio, taking us into this deeper place of where we feel things that have been moving below the surface. So as we work with that energy of Venus and Neptune and Saturn, thinking about our desires, our wishes, our what brings joy and value to our lives, what makes us feel good, that it can take us to a very deep place where we feel those truths moving inside of us, but we can't necessarily explain it or have the ability to wrap our minds around what that is, what it means in a tangible sense. As the moon moves through Scorpio, it's also doing one other watery thing, and that is it's heading into a grand trine with the sun and Jupiter. On Thursday, the sun had its exact trine to Jupiter. sort of highlighting the bigger picture of beliefs and leaps of faith and what's important to us in water signs, with the sun in Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer. And the moon in Scorpio then will form a grand trine. So all three in an equilateral triangle, all three in water signs. So with a water grand trine, we also have that energy of magic, of manifestation, of things moving and shifting in ways we can't explain. We have that psychic feeling, or those tingly feelings where things are happening that move energy in ways, that don't make sense in the common sense of things. So dreams, feelings, intuition, synchronicities, magic, right? Things that sort of unfold or pop in unexpected ways because of the way that energy is moving and something is speaking to you at those deeper levels. So to sum all of that up, self-care for today can look like attending to your feelings, attending to your emotional needs, giving yourself time to feel into what's important to you, what really matters, what you want, where those desires are, what makes you feel good, and letting that sort of move through you. You don't have to have an answer or a conclusion. This is more about like letting yourself feel the waves of feeling, kind of imagine that you're floating on a nice lake and the sunshine, right? Like a little bit of breeze, maybe cooling you off, like everything feels really nice. And you're on this lake, maybe just on a little raft or a canoe or something, and you're just feeling those waves, right? And those waves, they come, they go. Like sometimes the feelings take you into a deeper place inside of yourself, something maybe that you have to become aware of or confront. But at the same time, these waves are also kind of bringing support and peace and saying, where do you need to let go and just allow this process to unfold. So if you can think about that in your self-care today, where do you need to allow? Where do you need to listen at deeper levels? What is your intuition telling you, or how is it speaking to you? What are the little messages that show up psychically in your day, and how are those speaking to you? Could be a dream. It could be, a little happening, some event that occurs that brings you a gift, right? That is all intangible. So look for those synchronicities, look for those messages, and look for those gifts, because we also have Mercury retrograde in Pisces. So messages are coming in that vibe kind of way, in the way that energy moves, in the way that magic manifests around us. And it really is speaking to a bigger picture of truth, maybe something we haven't been able to see before now, or that we're beginning to put together in new ways to expand our hearts and our minds. And it is precisely that process of expansion in terms of how we see possibility that is going to help us actively create those tangible results of things that we want to build and shape, and things that we want to see take form in the world around us with the Saturn Neptune energy. Those are my thoughts for today. Thank you for being here. Let yourself feel what you feel. Take the space you need for self-care with the Scorpio moon. Things sometimes are deep, sometimes they're intense. And so give yourself the time and space you need to process what is moving through you. Thanks for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can book a reading with me at astrologyheals.com. Stay tuned at transformationalastrology.com, where I have all of those emergence guest speaker videos available. So you can go now and see which one speaks to you, maybe some you missed that you want to catch up on. Those are all fabulous. And stay tuned because I will have more content for you there soon. Thanks for being here and subscribing to this YouTube channel. I appreciate your support and it makes a huge difference for me. So thanks for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.